Hello guys, and we are back with the return of Decoded, a Lost Codex Podcast. My name is Jesse, and I'm joined by...
Ishura. I am your new podcast co-host.
That's right. Surprise! We got two podcast hosts this time. And you might say, Jesse, you've had two podcast hosts in the past. What are you talking about? You've had Yusei and this guy named Jack one time, and Shannon. You had two No. This is different because Ishura is my main co-host. Ishura and I are going to be tackling this together. Damn it! Thank you, Brunmar, for the subscription, but I realized that I have the alert boxes on, disabling those. But yes, now we have two official podcast co-hosts. And the reason why we're doing this is, for those of you who listened to the last couple episodes, I believe episodes 37, 36, 35 of Decoded, Season 1, it was just me for quite a few of them. And while I'm sure you guys enjoyed that, that was kind of lonely. It was sad, and I found it difficult to get motivated to do the podcast. I'm good at talking to myself on stream. I'm not good at talking to myself during a podcast. And I said, I need someone who can talk to me. And having Issei and Shannon on, that was great. But consistent scheduling is hard, is really hard. And so over the last few months, I've been reworking some ideas for Decoded Season 2. That's what we're calling it, Decoded Season 2. And Ishura has stepped up to the plate, not only as just a host, but a co-host. In fact, there may be episodes where I'm not even in the podcast. Might be a Jessie-free podcast. There may be episodes where she's not in it. If there's a topic and I have two volunteers who, let's say Shoeboots and Jared, who really want to talk about it, and Ishura says, you know what, I'm hopping out of this one. I'm gonna hop out. Then we can. This allows one of us to take a break, if need be, but it also allows the two of us just to sit here and crack our heads together and scream about exciting lore topics. Or Blizzcon, because that's all we talk about on this podcast is lore or Blizzcon, nothing else. So here we are.
That's all we're talking about today.
That's all we're talking about today. And for those of you listening to this, this is not episode 1 of Decoded Season 2. This is the pre-patch. This is the blog post before the pre-patch, which is Decoded Season 2. We will officially be announcing Decoded Season 2, or launching Decoded Season 2 in December. Today is more the pilot episode. This is just to talk about BlizzCon and to surprise everyone. So if you guys have missed, Decoded, I've missed Decoded. I've missed talking on a weekly podcast. Then get excited. Your Christmas, your holiday, all of your celebrations, Wintervale, your wishes are coming true. Wishes? You don't make wishes. I guess you do. Christmas genies, whatever.
Your holiday wish list.
That's it. That's what I was going for. Wishes. Holiday genies instead. That sounds funnier. We're going there. And today we're going to talk about BlizzCon. I know that we didn't do any pre-BlizzCon stuff, but who says we can't start the hype for BlizzCon 2020 by talking about BlizzCon 2019 and hyping? So we're going to do that. You ready? You ready, Ashura? You ready to dive into this?
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's do it. So it's been 2 weeks since BlizzCon has ended. And how are you doing? How are you doing with that?
It feels like it was longer than 2 weeks ago. Like, it feels like it's been ages now.
Yep, that's what the BlizzCon blues does to you. I left BlizzCon more exhausted than I've ever left before. And the blues were very delayed. It's also because I stayed till the Wednesday after BlizzCon, so it was a little bit later. And then I got back, landed in Ottawa, Canada, and it was snowing, so Great Father Winter just took a great dump on my city, and left me with minus 10 degrees Celsius. So yeah, thanks for that, because I wasn't already miserable enough. I adapted quickly, because I'm Canadian. But it's felt like it was almost a month ago, and it's literally been... What day of the week are we? We are Tuesday, so I landed not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that. So it's not even 2 weeks for me since I've been home, and it feels literally like it's been a month. Time is weird.
We went into hibernation.
We did.
Slept for the last 2 weeks. Now we've woken up.
What year is it? Literally. BlizzCon 2019 was my 8th BlizzCon attending in person, 8th in a row. Ishura, this was your...
My third. Second in a row. Because first time I went was 2015.
Which Ishura and I kind of reflected on. Ishura and I were at the same BlizzCon in 2015, but we just passed each other. There was no... That was pre-Lost Codex, too. Lost Codex didn't exist, so that was a different time. 2015 was my last BlizzCon as a regular attendee, because we got media passes by some absurd way in 2016 when we were nobodies. We applied last second, and we literally got the email 2 days before BlizzCon going, oh, by the way, you're confirmed for media. We're like, what? Do we have interviews? No. Do we have anything we can do with this pass? No, just enjoy the free pass. Oh, thank you, I guess. So this was my fourth BlizzCon as Lost Codex. But Ishura and I had there was a moment where we passed each other. We could have been playing the Legion Demon Hunter starting zone together as neighbors at BlizzCon 2015, and I'm just like, who's this chick beside me? She got really cool makeup, and then she's like, who's this creep beside me? I'm gonna go away. And that was it. And then we didn't meet until BlizzCon 2018 was when we met in person. So 8th BlizzCon for me, 8th in a row. Good God. That's a lot of BlizzCons. And next year will be my 9th. And next year will be Ashura's 3rd in a row. 4th in total, because it's gonna happen. General BlizzCon sentiments. Let's just dive right in. We're gonna dive right in just as J. Allen Brack did at the very beginning. And I'm actually really, really solidly glad that he dove in with the Hong Kong stuff right away. For anyone who was there, anyone who was at the Mythic opening ceremony, anyone who was at any of the stages, especially if you're at the Mythic stage, I have heard the room go that quiet twice in my BlizzCon history. The first one was on a lot happier note, but when J. Allen Brack brought up the second he said the Hearthstone tournament, everyone went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop in the room. And I honestly think it was the best and only way to start off BlizzCon, was to be talking about that. They could not have opened with good announcements and then waited to the end of the opening ceremony. They had to start with that. Whether or not you liked his answer or not, I think it was the proper and true way to start off BlizzCon, because, you know, as many developers, I mean, Jeff Kaplan even said after BlizzCon that he completely disagrees with the whole thing. They needed to address it, and they did take too long. That was the biggest part. So I'm actually glad J. Allen Brack talked about that right off the bat. And for those curious, the other time I heard the room go silent was when Chris Metzen was on stage and he said, guys, it's been X amount of years since Blizzard's launched a new IP. And the room just went silent. This whole... What? What do you mean a new IP? And then he goes, enjoy this. And he walks off stage, and this Pixar thing starts playing, and there's a gorilla and a French woman, and what is happening? There's this British chick running around. It was amazing. And then Overwatch is there, and suddenly Overwatch is part of all of our lives, whether we play it or not. We all know the game. But back then, it was mind-blowing to see Metzen just casually say, it's been X amount of years since we've launched a new IP. It was this brain shut down for a moment of, sorry, repeat that last part, what'd you say? And then it starts with that really soft music, and it's amazing. Those are the two times I've heard that room go silent like that. Unfortunately, this year's was for far different reasons, but anyway. And then, God, the way they started off this BlizzCon when the countdown was happening. You know, every year, last year the countdown was very wholesome, welcome home, everyone went mental. This year, you know, it started off at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then it cuts immediately to the Diablo 4 trailer. The second the 4 cuts, who's on either side of me? Spalander was on my left side, Ishura was on my right. I grabbed both of their shoulders and I just screamed. I could hear
so I recorded this, and I was looking back at the recording because it counts down from 30, stops at 5, and everyone's like, what's going on? And then the trailer, and there's just like screams, like everyone immediately gets it. I'm like, before opening ceremony was not that into Diablo, so I was like, what's going on? And
I,
it was
I
just
think
obvious.
I think it was you. I didn't want to say it was you because in case it wasn't, but I think you yelled, "What's happening?" And I didn't answer. I just shook you. I was clinging to you. And as Ravengore says here in chat, the lights in the room just flashed red. So on 4, the lights, the bright blue BlizzCon blue lights, just went flat out red. And it was this moment of, oh my god, they're cutting at 4. This is it. And of course, the beginning of that trailer is so quiet that everyone just shuts up immediately. And it was amazing. It was the only that was on par with the Sombra hack. Were you at BlizzCon for the Sombra hack? You heard about the
no.
Sombra hack?
I've heard you tell this story a few times.
Okay, for those who don't know, I just gotta retell the story. It's just on par with it. When they released and announced Sombra, leading up to Sombra's announcement, they basically said, yeah, there's this hacker character coming to Overwatch. But they didn't tell us. It was all like through social media networking and all that and all this stuff. And what's the word I'm looking for? These like little mini hidden games and stuff like that where her icon was found. And then they're showing, this was a couple months after Overwatch was announced, or released rather, and they're showing the launch trailer and all the developers are gathered around the computers and they're making the game go global. And then suddenly the game just fizzles and a big crack goes against the screen and suddenly everything starts going purple. And she hacks the opening ceremony to play her cinematic. And fun story, but Jeff Kaplan, we found this out after because we found him in the hallway. No one told the virtual ticket guys that Sombra was hacking the opening ceremony. So as she's hacking the opening ceremony and all the audio starts going ballistic because of the hack, it's part of the show, he gets called to the tech room. So he sprints to the tech room and walks in and they think something is happening. They think, oh god, something bad is happening. And he stops and he goes, oh my god. Guys, this is part of the show. And no one told those guys that Sombra was doing that. So someone lost the memo, and Jeff wasn't in the opening ceremony room when Sombra came up on screen because he had to sprint away. But he said that was part of the experience. He goes, the only way I would have left that room is if Sombra made me leave that room. And 100% amazing. So that was on par with the Diablo 4 announcement. It was mind-blowing in every way. Something that those of you who wouldn't have seen if you weren't at the main stage, there was a technical difficulty in the best but the worst way possible.
It was so long.
It was...
So there's like... So the Diablo cinematic itself is like 9 minutes, which I didn't realize because it feels kind of short. But there was this part right when they're like rushing into the room where the panels and the screen did that thing where it's like when you look at your own screen on a stream and it just like copies it into infinity and you see it forever. And so you can still hear the sounds like I've heard Jesse tell this story before and he's like, you hear them dying, like some graphic stuff is going on in the background but you can't see it. And it was like I don't think I remember anyone yelling. Like everyone was just kind of waiting with bated breath and there was some awkward laughter, but it was like a solid like 30 seconds and we're all like,
it was almost 45 seconds of just it made me appreciate the sound design of the trailer. It's amazing. The sound design's great because all I heard for 45 seconds was people dying in the most graphic way possible, and people were laughing and kind of crying out in dismay, but not angrily. It was like, oh god, no, why now? Like people were just waiting and sitting there, and like people around us were laughing in the god of all times for this to happen. It's during the deep effing 4 trailer, and then the second it starts again, it starts when they're inside. Of course, the best part was when the dude with the one eye is fighting his way, and the other guy says he's already dead. Of course, we hear that. We don't see it. All we hear is he's already dead, and the whole audience just moans. We're all like, oh, like someone just died off screen, and we didn't see any of it. And then it cuts back to when they're just entering the gate room. And then everyone instantly went from just screaming to nothing. And then we just went, oh god, it's back, shut up. And everyone went back to watching it. And
it ended up being, like, in my opinion, kind of an inconsequential part. I think it wasn't that big of a part to miss.
It wasn't, but it definitely added to the experience, because you're like, man, these sound effects are amazing. And the gore on that, I have never seen them announce with signage that they are showing some dark rated R content. I've never seen them. I thought there's no way it's anything but Diablo. And I remember Spalander next to me, we could hear the audio graphic, and I was like, oh, there's probably the rated R bit. Little did we know, at the end, that was graphically amazing in the most, just, you were watching it, but you didn't want to look away. It was beautiful and an amazing cinematic, and I cannot wait to see what else the Diablo cinematics have always been stupid in terms of how awesome they are. But that announcement, that was mind-blowing. Confusion and excitement was all going through our heads. And then when they showed the Diablo logo at the end, the crowd was deafening. Just absolutely deafening. And then Overwatch 2 comes on, and Jeff just casually mentions, he goes, I don't know what to say, because you guys all know what I'm about to say. You've all read my cards. And he talks about the leaks. He played it out very nicely. And I cannot imagine. See, I love data mining. I love patch data mining. When it comes to new models, new weapons, new armor, new mounts, new pets, love it. New lore data mining, I'm conflicted on, because I love learning the deep stuff, but at the same time, I kind of like seeing it live. So I'm on the fence. Leaks suck. Expansion leaks, game leaks suck. Because it would have been much different of a BlizzCon if they actually showed that with no leaks. But Jeff Kaplan played it off. He totally joked, going, I don't have to say anything because you guys already know what's coming. And the whole crowd laughed because we all knew what was coming. And then Overwatch 2 plays. And the trailer, by the way, amazing. I almost thought Mei was going to die. I almost thought she was a goner. And then there's that just very sacrificial moment with Winston. And we just announced our Tyr video 2 days before, and I got some real Tyr vibes. I thought, oh god, he's going out like Tyr. He's going to get a silver gorilla fist. But it was so good. I love Overwatch. But then the Shadowlands reveal came.
I remember saying afterward, oh, we didn't tell them. So we actually recorded on my phone, on my horrible phone footage camera, this like 10-minute video, kind of like 10 minutes after opening ceremony, our thoughts, mostly about Shadowlands. So I think we're including that somewhere, if not here, somewhere on the web. And I remember saying, I was like, the leaks. And so like the leaks as in the one that it was Shadowlands, I remember seeing, it was like the Bastion loading screen art, and the name of Bastion, I'm pretty sure. And it's just, I think it's because the Lost Codex Discord is so on top of everything. I remember this all at some point. Oh yeah, and the Bolvar image, which was everywhere. And the whole time we were watching the cinematic and then the features trailer, I was like, I'm kind of bummed that the leaks were true, just because the whole experience of getting it raw was dampened by me thinking about what I'd seen in the week leading up to it.
You almost kind of hoped it was a red herring, that Blizzard leaked something else, so that when they showed it, you're like, oh my god, what is this? But the second you saw the snow falling at the beginning of the trailer, it was like, I know 100% who's about to show up on screen. I know, I've seen the cinematic still for it. But the trailer, though. There was a moment seeing everything on screen. I think seeing Sylvanas talking and approaching, once Ice Crown became visible, audience screamed. Seeing Sylvanas there, the audience screamed. But the second it got to Bolvar sitting on the throne, I'm pretty sure the screams for Bolvar were louder than for Sylvanas, his first appearance. Because him just sitting there casually on the throne, all fiery, was, we had seen that image. We'd all seen the cinematic still leak. We all knew what he was going to look like. And still, it was so much better live in front of you. Yeah. And then seeing him stand up, seeing him change specs with his new cool-ass mace, going full Lich King colors, that was the moment everyone screamed. So many awesome moments, and I remember explicitly when she rips the helm off of him, and she's holding it there in front of her. I remember it coming from the right side. It came from Ishura. All I heard was, is it even going to fit over her ears? What is going on? It was the most and everyone thought the same thing. Holding the crown, the way she held that crown in front of you, you're like, oh my god, she's going to do the big dramatic, like, girl, take off your hood, what are you doing? And then nothing. No one saw that coming. No one saw her breaking the helm of the Lich Kings right then and there. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I know.
And I think that was the general reaction for most people is the, oh god, don't put the crown on. Don't become the Lich King 2. You already are the Lich Queen 2.0 and everything but name. Don't become it in name. And she doesn't.
It was gorgeous. Like, my favorite part of the whole thing, hands down, when the sky just shatters. And my first thought, I was like, that's gonna make a nice skybox. And then we saw the features trailer afterward in the first image above Icecrown, and I was like, yep.
100%. I knew. I think I yelled when the sky broke. I think I just yelled, oh my god.
I did.
What is happening right now? The helmet breaking? Alright, girl, what are you doing? And then the whole sky just detonates? Good god. Amazing. So amazing. And I really cannot wait to see if Blizzard continues this whole cinematic throughout the expansion deal. Like the whole Sarfang storyline, but one involved, because now we have a Bolvar model. So are we going to get an Anduin and Bolvar cinematic where CGI Anduin and CGI Bolvar and CGI Gen and CGI Talia talk? Are we going to get that? Is that going to be a thing? Because that should be a thing.
I have a feeling that because BFA's CGI cinematics were more Horde focused, I have a feeling Shadowlands cinematics will probably be more Alliance focused. But it's a lot easier for them to reuse the same models that they've been using, making new ones. Well, it takes forever and takes a lot of money, so definitely can basically confirm Bolvar will be in more cinematics, and since he's a pretty prominent Alliance figure, I would say, not so much neutral, but you never know.
I do wonder what his involvement is going to be, because he's the one who brings the pre-patch to us, and he goes to this main cities to tell us. So I wonder if he's going to go kind of be welcomed as a friend, or not as a friend, but be welcomed as a fallen hero in Stormwind, but an Orgrimmar just kicks down the gates and is like, yo, what up? I'm here to, pack your shit. Things are going down. I would love if he was very just standoffish with the Horde, like, hey, here's what's going on, deal with it. And then with the Alliance, it's a little bit of a, yeah, this is weird. I used to live here.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they made him more neutral, because he's probably, like, risen above the conflict. Like, I am this figure, cannot be biased. My old life so long ago.
He's an Alliance hero. Let's stop making Alliance heroes neutral. Khadgar, I'm looking at you, buddy. But CGI Bolvars would be amazing in every way.
That's true. He did team up with the Horde at the Wrathgate.
He did. And then someone says, hey, Teldrassil is cosplaying as you right now. And then he goes, oh my god. And then he gets upset. So you know what? I'm just saying. He could have plenty of reason to be upset with the Horde. Anyway, moving on. That was a bit much there. Ouch. Ouch. That was a nice burn.
And for Night player, ouch. Nice ouch. Burn.
Come on, okay, the delay on that one. But I do wonder what kind of cinematic storylines we would get with him, because we've got Gen. Oh, so some fun facts. I forgot where I was going with this. Some fun facts about the Shadowlands trailer. The undead that you see on screen as Sylvanas is walking towards Icecrown, that first undead is actually the same undead from the end of the Wrath trailer. The one wearing the horned helm, there's one of them that turns and rears his head back. It's actually the same undead. It's not supposed to be anyone special. We'll call him Skelly Boy. He can be Banner Bay's friend. And Skelly Boy is actually the same model, so it's the same model they used. And there's actually some... there was challenges bringing in the old Wrath of Lich King cinematic models, because the difference in tech... You look at the Wrathgate cinematic... Not Wrathgate, sorry. What am I talking about? Wrath of Lich King, that's the word. Wrath of Lich King cinematic, at the very end with all the undead. Those look amazing still, so many years later, but the difference in tech is huge, and they actually had a hard time bringing that model into Shadowlands cinematic trailer. And also the weapons that the undead are carrying, that they're dragging on the ground as she's approaching Icecrown, those are actually weapons brought from the Diablo cinematics, apparently. Someone in our Discord, My Mind Won't Quiet, posted a whole bunch of facts about stuff like that, so that's actually really cool to see them bring in models from other franchises, and to bring in Skelly Boy as a character. I hope him and Banner Bay become a new topic of undead conversation. Now, I don't want to get negative. I definitely don't want to get negative. But let's talk about that features trailer, because the features trailer seemed a little bit off, and no part of Shadowlands makes me doubt anything. I am 10,000% hyped for Shadowlands, but that announcements trailer, the features trailer, didn't do much for me, because they missed a bunch of stuff. They didn't talk about the level squish. Can you imagine if they showed the level squish on screen? What kind of response that would have gotten? That would have been way cooler. Instead, we found out after in a panel, which again, no problem. It just seemed that's a big feature to just not put in a features. They had no mention of the customization stuff. Think about it. The last two feature trailers for the last two expansions, there's been a moment where the crowd goes wild. In Legion, it's when the Demon Hunter shows up, Illidan, and you see his fellow Demon Hunters around, and you see new class Demon Hunter, and everyone went wild. Battle for Azeroth, you see Kultiras, and you see Zandalar, and you see Heart of Azeroth, and then you see allied races, and you see Zandalari trolls, Lightforge. People went mental for that stuff. There wasn't one of those in the features trailer. It was good. Every zone looked beautiful. The expansion looks amazing. That's Skybox. But there wasn't that moment that made me go, oh my god, a second time. But during the panel, when they announced character customization, I leaped out of my chair. So, you know, and can you imagine if they would have shown character customization and they would have shown a troll with the Ferraki skin and the war paint with a Wildhammer troll next to him, and some of the racial diverse humans? That would have been amazing. But they didn't show that.
Coming out of BlizzCon and having seen all the WoW panels, it seems like a lot of stuff is still in progress, and I don't fault them for not wanting to announce it when they might end up going back on it, because you asked in your interview, like, what kind of characters are we going to see coming back, and they're like, we're still deciding, we don't want to promise anything, and then be like, JK, that's not going to happen. But I didn't mind as much. I know I saw a lot of complaining on Twitter, like, filming, but I love the emphasis on the art direction. I think this expansion will be gorgeous in a way that BFA was a lot more realistic. So
I completely agree. Again, no part of me is upset with the features trailer. I just found that I remember it ending and I was thinking, okay.
What do we know? What have we learned?
That's really cool and everything looked amazing, but what have we learned? And then the first panel, the first WoW panel that happened, everything was great. I learned everything I wanted to know and I was excited. But as Ishura said, the art direction is amazing for everything. Bastion looks stupidly awesome. Revendreth looks so cool. Maldraxxus, at first I thought, you look at the Plaguelands. Then I realized that's the point. And I thought, oh my god, HD updated Plaguelands? Alright, I'm down. That's gross. I'm totally down. Let's have some HD grossness, because you look back on old Plaguelands, that was a terrifyingly gross zone way back when. Can you imagine what they could do with today's technology? It looks amazing. And what I'm excited for Maldraxxus, I totally forgot to put this in the notes, is it warps our whole idea of the undead. We go in and we are made to think that necrolords and necromancers and rampant mindless undead are all bad things. In every fantasy, that's bad, right? In the Hobbit movie, there was one necromancer, and he was apparently super scary, right? In Game of Thrones, raising of the dead, that's not a good thing. Resurrection of the dead is never a good thing. There's some, indie stuff out there and some minor stuff that, fine, it's cool. But most of the time, resurrection and death magic, Harry Potter, it's all bad. No different than World of Warcraft when it comes to the Scourge. But this army of necrolords and necromancers and weird abominations in Maldraxxus being not evil. They are the defenders of the Shadowlands. They are the army, the soldiers of the Shadowlands. That's interesting. Going there and seeing this creepy-ass necrolord and you going, grabbing your sword, and he goes, hi friend, how are you? And you're like, God! And his abomination is like carrying a bucket of water or something, and you're like, I am so conflicted. I am trained in all of my years of WoW to hate you in every aspect of you. And he's like, can you go gather me 10 blighted bear hides? And you're like, yes, I can. Why am I helping you? I don't like this. It's going to be really weird. We're going to have such a hard time in Maldraxxus going, y'all are creepy. But yeah, I'll go do your weird abomination poop quest, I guess. I'm so excited for Maldraxxus because it's this zone of, it's totally warping, it's breaking that that fantasy idea we have in our head that necrolords and necromancy and necro anything is bad. And Shadowlands is like, well, hang on. Don't be so quick to judge, because if you judge, you're a dick.
Abomination poop quest?
Well, that's gonna happen now. Now that I said it, that's gonna happen.
Did they even... I'm not even gonna ask. Alright. Should we ask now? What covenants are we gonna go?
Oh god.
Controversial statements.
Well, I mean, for me, it's gonna be all based on my character. 100%. My big Draenei lad, big Draenei engineering vindicator bro is gonna be Bastion. But probably my Worgen rogue will probably be Revendreth. Yeah, no, it's gonna depend on my character, 100%. What about you? Where's your rogue going?
My rogue's probably a Night Fae character, because she only carries Night Elves, and since we know Tyranda's featuring prominently in Ardenweald.
That'll be cool.
But I personally love Valkyr. Angelic characters, heck yeah. Pun unintended. So...
Could have even said hell yeah.
I would love to do Bastion at some point if I ever have a second character at max level.
Bastion's your number 2?
Yeah. And then Revendreth, I think.
You're not excited for Maldraxxus?
Not really.
God, you have to break the norm of wanting to go kill undeads and stuff like that. You know why I'm excited?
Predictable.
But you know why I'm excited for Maldraxxus? And that brings us to our next topic. The main character that they announced in Maldraxxus is Draka. That confused me. Cenarius in Ardenweald, fine. Uther in Bastion, that's cool. Kael'thas in Revendreth, yeah, sure. And Draka in the Plague Zone. What? Why? I am so... At first I was against it. I thought, nope, that's stupid. Hate it. And then I thought, alright, let's give it a chance. And I am, like, the more I think about it, the more I am just hooked on that idea that they are going to warp our minds on how the Plague Land aesthetic of necromancy is not 100% a bad thing. I don't think Draka's gonna be like a necro lord, like she's gonna be throwing plague bolts at people, but I'm really curious how Draka, mother of friggin' Goel, Thrall, whatever you want to call him, is in the necro lords area.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the gears are having trouble there. 100%.
I'm excited about our other non-Covenant E zone. I'm excited about them all. And we honestly didn't see much. So we didn't see any in-game footage except for Torghast, I don't think. Just concept art, and it's all, like, you can tell even when they were talking about it, they were like, there's no innkeepers, we're gonna have this, like, the jailer has noticed you type mechanic. It's all still in the works, but I love how mysterious it is because it makes it scarier, but I'm excited to go through it.
Yes.
It's hard to say more without knowing more, but...
Because we haven't seen anything on Torghast, and I'm really wondering, or, sorry, the Maw, I'm really curious, and this is a challenge that the developers are going to have. How are we going to be introduced to a zone that we find terrifying? We have been playing this game for 15 years. How can they make a zone that doesn't make us just go, meh, it's just big scary elites? How can they catch us off guard? I want to feel unsafe there. The last time I felt unsafe in an area, aside from Suramar, which because it was... Suramar made me feel unsafe because it was like, this is not my city. The one that comes into mind is the Klaxi and the Dreadwaste, and how strangely eerie and empty certain parts of the zone were. And then you turn the corner and there's 70 manted soldiers right there, and you're like, oh my god, bugs, why is it bugs? And then you die. That was my thoughts in the Dreadwastes, was good god. Why manted? Tiny says BlizzCon 2020 full Maw exposure. I'm pretty sure the expansion will be out before BlizzCon 2020. I would hope. What are your thoughts? When do you think BlizzCon, the expansion's going to be out there, Ishura?
I would say around that time. We were talking about it in the Discord some time ago, speculating about it with more detail, but now that I'm put on the spot, because it's still, I feel like it's not as far along as other expansions have been when they've been announced, so I don't want to say that means it'll take longer. It could just mean that they're keeping more things secret, which is a trend lately. But autumn is pretty traditional. I mean, even if it was released this BlizzCon or after, it wouldn't get a lot of coverage at BlizzCon because it would all basically be known at that point, beta and everything.
I definitely think that the expansion is going to be out by before BlizzCon, because if 8.3 is in January, that gives 8.3.5 usually 3 months after. So we're looking at February, March, April. Then we're looking at probably July to August for the pre-patch stuff, because 8.3.5 is not necessarily going to be pre-patch stuff. So we're looking at like a September, maybe October release. The last two expansions have been in August. So...
Good point.
So I think slightly pushed back. I'm going to say September. I'd love an August release again. But I'm going to say September. And then BlizzCon, we're going to hear all about 9.1 and 9.2 and all that stuff. God, next BlizzCon, we're going to be talking about what happens next. In next BlizzCon, we're going to know all the main exciting story stuff in this expansion. We are completely oblivious right now. But in 11 months, we will know so much more. And we will look back on the stream and go, you fools. You ignorant fools. You had no idea what's coming. You have no idea. Future Jesse, I have no idea what's on its way. I'm watching this right now, I have no idea what's going to happen. But future me's watching this going, you idiot. You idiot. God, I'm so excited. And probably the most exciting thing I'm excited for, the best thing, I can't say the best thing, they're all best things, is the character customization. I knew about that going into the panel because it was on the website, but I was baffled that they didn't talk about it anywhere. They didn't talk about it in the features trailer, so I was like, oh god, is this a mistake? And then Ian talks about it at the panel, and it was the best thing. It was the best thing to see on screen, the Wildhammer tattoos, to see the troll skins, to see the undead with no bones, to see the racial diversity for the humans. And then in later interviews, we learned that the Draenei are getting long tail options. If the Lightforge have big bushy beards, why can't the Draenei males have big bushy beards? I would love to see... Ishura, if you had some... If we were sitting here with an art director from the World of Warcraft team and they said, tell me what you would like to see. What would you like to see?
Personally? You know, okay, so I'm a Night Elf main, revealed. I feel like if they're making eye color... Surprise! If they're making eye color separate from facial features, it'd also be cool to see, like, the Night Elf female marking different, separate their hair color, which is what they're based on.
Bring your microphone a little bit closer to you. You are cutting in and out.
Hello.
Oh,
Do you want me to say that again?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there.
So we know that they're making eye color separate from face, but for female Night Elves, they could make marking color separate from hair color, which is what they're based on, right?
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
And I've seen this on Twitter. Everyone, for the longest time, has been rallying for dark-skinned Blood Elves, and I think I saw somewhere that it was confirmed in an interview that they're working on it.
I did hear that too. I did hear the darker skinned Blood Elves are... Oh, which interview was it? Doesn't matter. It was confirmed somewhere.
Confirmed.
But the markings for the females, I never would have thought of that. Black hair for Night Elves. I know Night Elves don't have black hair, unless you're Demon Hunter.
Aren't there some NPCs that
do have it? Yes. It's just like, why isn't it turned on? I would love if the human and the Worgen models could be customized differently. Let me have gray hair on my human model and change my hairstyle, tough style, slightly weird mane style on my Worgen. Why is my bald human forced to have little bow tie fluffies as a Worgen? It's dumb. Let me change Blizzard. Someone in chat said, dirty faces on gnomes with goggle outlines. That would be amazing. Grease stains on their face. That would be amazing. Tusk rings for trolls and orcs. That would be cool. I would love to see Tauren with bigger horns, especially the ladies. Let them have, the High Mountain have some bigger horns. I want to see... Give those Tauren ladies a massive rack, just a huge rack of horns on there to put on there. I said what I said. Give them the biggest horns that they can get. Let them fight the men. Let them just say, you know what, we're gonna go and fight. I said what I said. And with that knowledge, let's get that's getting clipped 100%. Let's get the female Draenei some bigger crests as well. The men look like they could, it's part of their sport. Jed Heen, shout out to Asay for that. But let the females have really, theirs are very horn dependent, but what about that forehead piece? And of course, beards for the Draenei. What else? I'm trying to think of what else I would love personally. I would love to see
more hairstyles in general. Period.
More hairstyles for everyone. Beards, really cool beards on trolls and blood elves. That would be dope, please. And goblins. For some reason, goblins can't grow facial hair. Give me more tentacle options. Give me more battle scars. More wounds. More the weird slash over the eye and the eye is dead look. for Kultiris humans, that's amazing. That looks so awesome. More arcane tattoos for that'd be cool. Arcane tattoos for night elves or for blood elves. Not even arcane, like just markings of some body markings as well.
The Blood Elf concept art had those like arcane tattoo type things, and I know people were also saying those would be cool to finally include.
Tattoos for everyone.
Yeah.
I want it all. Give them all. I just want to see Pandaren. I would love to see the Pandaren get some love.
You know what I would like?
Tell me.
Different heights. I don't think that's like something that would be included, but
suddenly customization just became what's the word? Far more technical.
Yeah.
Because when you start getting the size ratio, I guess you could have like certain races, like for example, maybe as a human you wanted to be a tall human, so you get scaled to the night elf level of tall. Or you could be a short night elf and be a night elf the size of a dwarf would be too short, but maybe a short night elf would be the size of a human. So you can be a tall night elf, which is maybe, I don't know, the Tauren size. But you see, no, I'd love it. I just don't. When I make these let's request things, I always think, what's actually possible? Tattoos, tusk rings, colored hair, markings, that's all possible. The second we get into features like hunched backs and alternate poses and alternate models, I don't know. But then again, they did it with the orcs, so maybe? Forsaken that stand upright. That'd be cool. Upright Forsaken. That'd be pretty dope. There's so many. Blizzard, are you listening? I hope you're listening. I could probably do a whole podcast on the character customizations that I want. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on to just generic BlizzCon stuff. And this first comment was definitely your thing, so I'll let you explain that before I jump in.
Well, we talked about this a teensy bit, and I think it was the player base more than them, but I said it didn't feel like it was big for being an anniversary year. But I think that's more the players hyping it up and like, oh, it's the anniversary, like there's gonna be big announcements, but it just kind of felt like another BlizzCon, which isn't bad. I think just looking back, I kind of forgot.
Agreed. I kind of wished the Blizzard, specifically the Warcraft anniversary, would have been a little bit more hyped up, especially during the opening ceremony. But it wasn't. And I get why, because the opening ceremony already took longer, but I don't know. I kind of wish that the Warcraft anniversary, 15 years, 25 years, that would have been hyped a little bit more. The Q&A for the Warcraft team was amazing. Fantastic job to Taliesin and Evitil. That was really, really awesome. They handled it like pros. And a special Codex shout out to our boy Laurentium for not only asking a dope question, but for keeping your cool during that really stupid stunt. And I'll call it out as it is. A parent sent their kid to do that stupid stunt. It was stupid. It was the wrong place. Those parents are bad parents. But Laurentium handled it like a champ, and Taliesin handled it like a champ. I absolutely loved the way that Taliesin gave the kid a chance, said, cool, moving on. But it was really poor taste. The audience, for those of you who watched at home, you didn't kind of get this, but the whole audience just had this groan of disapproval. It was not a good thing to do. Don't get me wrong. The movement, fine. The time and a place, not the time and a place. But Taliesin handled it like a champ. And our boy Laurentium, because I have never asked a question for the BlizzCon Q&A panel, because I know what it's like seeing your face up there, hearing your voice echo all around you, and then looking up going, oh my god, is that what I look like? Why am I sweating? Why am I stumbling? I get it. Everyone who looks up freaks out. Your heart's going and everything. So then to have that happen in the middle of your question, like I saw Laurentium, I was like, man, and the crowd, again, I'll say this to you, Laurentium, the whole crowd applauded you. The whole crowd applauded you because it was a great question, and it was actually because right after that incident, right after the stunt, Laurentium took the time to say, by the way, thank you for everything that you did, guys. He thanked the panel up there, and the crowd just took that with stride and went with it. It was a good distraction, so good on you, Laurentium, because there would have been that awkward tension after the kid, and then Taliesin's, okay, moving on, and you took it like a champ. So bravo to you, Laurentium, for that. And that panel was really good. We got some juicy lore details. I actually missed the end of the panel. I know, I'm a horrible person, but I had an interview to get to. I had to sprint to my interview. And the best part was, Steve up on stage literally had 10 minutes to go from that stage to my interview room, because we talked to him 10 minutes later. He came in, and I said, great panel. He goes, how'd you know? Were you there? I said, yeah, I just ran. He's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, geez, the timing on this is really bad.
Honestly, the jailer identity question was huge because, at least in my opinion, it wasn't a question I would have asked because I just assumed that they wouldn't tell us.
100%.
Absolutely did not think it would be this new figure.
I would have tossed that question out the window because I would have been like, this is not something they're going to answer.
Yeah.
And while we didn't get an answer, we got something that I was like, oh, okay, that's something that I didn't expect him to say. So that was awesome. Concept gallery, as always, is amazing to see all the stuff up close in person. All the concept art that they showed during the panels and stuff like that. And then the voice actor panel was probably one of the best panels that they have ever done for BlizzCon. A live reading of all of that, and then seeing the outtakes between Sarfang and Thrall I was in near tears just laughing. It was awesome. It was great to see all of it. To hear Sarfang say, I'm effing gluten-free to Thrall. To hear Sarfang saying in the most way, I should have just let them kill you and your whole family. It's like, oh my god, Thrall. I actually talked with this later on with Argent and Thist from Lagging Balls and Terran on the second night of BlizzCon. There's this moment. There's this moment during the Thrall outtake where it's going to get PG-13. It's going to get rated R here for a second. Where Sarfang says, this, you know what this fucking kid did? This fucking kid just came with me and stripped off his armor. He just followed me out there like an idiot. And then Thrall pauses and goes, was it a troll? And there's this moment of like, was Thrall just a little bit like horrid racist there? Going, like, stupid kid? It was a troll, right? 100%. I saw it and I went, oh my god. Like, of all the racist orcs out there, Thrall shouldn't be one of them. And yet the way Metzen delivered it was, the stupid fucking kid, and was it a troll? I was like, oh my god, that is too it was amazing. I loved it. I'm gluten-free, you asshole. Oh my god, I loved it. It was amazing. I want to see more rated R Thrall. My respect for Thrall went up when he just became aggressive and he called Sarfang out. Hearing swearing Sarfang, I should have let the assassins kill you and your whole bloody family. Oh, that was dark, Sarfang. Rated R. Can you imagine rated R Metzen and rated R Patrick Sates as Garrosh going at it?
Oh no,
yes.
That would get so dark so fast.
Oh yes, that is amazing. I actually told Taryn, and I'll give it up for Taryn Gregory's orc performance on screen. That was amazing. You know what the best part about that was? The Twitter interaction out there was, we had Patty on stage, we had live Sylvanas, we had live Sarfang, right? We had live Anduin. And everyone left that panel talking about Taryn Gregory's orc impression. We had these amazing actors on stage, and these people are talking, and Taryn, no disrespect to you, I love you, buddy, but it became this whole, everyone's like, you're Thrall, and after he was like, no, I'm not. And, it would have been amazing to have Mets in there, but it was like, man, how you going to top that next year? And I flat out told Taryn, I said, the only way he can top it next year, this is going live to everyone, the only way Taryn can top that performance next year as Thrall is to have a Thrall Garrosh reenactment of the Nagran cinematic. But not bring Patrick States. It's Taryn as Thrall versus Taryn as Garrosh. And it's just Taryn yelling at Taryn for 5 minutes straight, throwing himself across the stage, screaming, "You left me to pick up your pieces!" Just going apeshit on himself. And the guy walking by the panel, going to the Overwatch panel, is like, what the hell is going on over there? That is an intense panel. And it's just one dude throwing himself across the panel. That's the only way you can top it. So now that it's out there, Andrea, please make this happen. And have Taryn Gregory fight Taryn Gregory in a voice actor Thrall versus Garrosh stage. That I've said it. We all want to see it. It's going to happen. But really, that was amazing. Christy Golden up there reading. Steve playing Gen up there. Amazing. They had the banners, the Tink Tink banners.
I was never... No, let me rephrase. I didn't realize I would be so excited to have Sylvanas tell me I was... And...
Oh, it was so good to hear her scream to the audience. Why? You are all... Nothing. Oh... I thought
everyone was like, "Yeah, we are."
I am trash. I hate myself. It was perfect. I've never been more self-deprecating in that moment and embraced it.
Oh, such a good moment.
Side note on Banner Bay, totally not related to the panel. Shauna was leaving for her hotel for the night, so I was walking her to the front of the hotel, going through the Hilton crowd, millions of people, and there's Banner Bay in line at the bar. Some chick dressed up as Banner Bay with her banner in her hand. And I turned and I screamed, "Banner Bay!" And she looked at me and aggressively just tink-tinked on the spot and then went back to her line. It was really awesome. It was really cool. Aside from the voice actor panel, I think that something else that's worth talking about was the new wristband stuff this year. The new entry methods for Blizzcon were much better than last year. Last year's was, pardon my French, a shit show, and it was awful. It was so stupid last year because one door didn't open, one entryway didn't work as intended, and that messed everything up. This year, amazing. Everything was good. From what I saw. And I think the color coding on it was good. I think having I didn't know how I would feel about having a colored badge on my wrist be my way into the convention. Kind of makes the badge around your neck pointless. That was kind of just for aesthetic, I guess. But it was cool to see everyone have different colors. I guess a lot of people were confused, and this is literally not a problem at all. A lot of people with media passes were a little bit confused as to why their colors were not the same as the regular attendee. And not because we should get our own cool colors because we're media. No, that's not the point. In the past, can I reach it? No, I'm going to knock over everything. In the past, the media badges have a color rimmed around it. Last year was bright green. The year before that was bright orange. It says media really blatantly. This year, your media line was like a little piece on your badge. It worked, but the color of your wristband was the same as the regular attendees, and I know a lot of the security was not informed. And so they were like, "Nope, you can't enter. No, you can't enter." And I'm like, I'm going into the media room because I'm media. Nope. I'm like, literally scan my badge, and they scanned it, and oh, look at that, gave me access because I'm media. It just seemed really weird. Blizzard developers had blue. That makes sense. Ishura, I see you have yours. Show yours. That was the portal pass, so the fancy entry.
They were as inconvenient as I thought they'd be, but I have small wrist, right? So I have like this much ribbon, oops, wrong direction, excess, and it was annoying at times. Like, I was doing my makeup and I was doing someone else's makeup, and this ribbon was just flopping around, hitting us all. It kind of sucks, but honestly, it wasn't that bad.
I actually liked them. My only complaint was the color coding should be a little bit more clear. The security flat out told me that it's not even our badges around our neck had nothing to do with getting in. It was our bracelets, which is fine. Then just make it clear, you know, Blizzard Blue. Those who paid extra for the portal pass, give them a different color. Give the media a different color, and then give the general attendees a different color. And if they did one-day attendees, like, you know, you can buy if you only wanted to go the second day or the first day, have those different colors. I think that color coding makes everything easy.
Were you there when they so I didn't realize this, but they're color coded by item rarity. So all the
yes.
general entry ones were green because it was like common, and then the portal pass was legendary, and so blue was like devs, which was weird because I guess that was rare, and then the purple one was the benefit dinner.
Oh, okay. Epic. Neat.
Yeah. I think that's all of them.
Legendary, purple, I guess artifact blue. I guess that could be like the Blizzard dev one, I guess. Pale. Wasn't really.
Mm-hmm.
But, interesting.
Rare because devs are rare.
I didn't know there was a purple one. I didn't even see the purple one. Because I was thinking
Yeah.
purple could have been media, but oh well. That was my only, not even a complaint, because it was actually a little bit of a scandal on the first day. I remember people from Wowhead posting that the security wasn't letting them get to a certain area because of the colors. And I thought, oh god, are we gonna have trouble getting the same thing too? And I think it was honestly the security was just told, basically, if you're green, you can't go here. But all of media was green, so it was really, they were just being aggressive to people for no reason. And I was like, all right, I get you're doing your job, but why don't you scan my wrist and tell me I'm wrong? But aside from that, I think it was a much smoother year. I think 100% that this was a good way of doing it. Having the pickup site off-site was amazing. For those staying in the Hilton, it was amazing to go downstairs, literally hop in the elevator and go to the basement to get your ticket, and then go back up to, you know, your room. It was so good, and the lines outside, so fast. I watched those lines go really fast. It was really well structured. I'm super happy with how everything turned out this year, and I think this year was a test for their portal pass. I think the portal pass next year is going to expand tenfold. I think that they are going to have so many new features and all that stuff, so I really cannot wait to see what they have in store for BlizzCon 2020. I know, oh god, hearing that, developers are like, oh god, let us rest first. Fine, Christmas happens, get your rest, and then January 1st, here we go. Con Before the Storm, not officially part of BlizzCon, but it's the eve. It's Christmas Eve of BlizzCon. It's the night before BlizzCon. Partnering with Wowhead was amazing. The party was huge. I felt like, even though there's never been a room issue in the past, I felt this year that there was more room to do things, while not seeming like it was empty. There was the wheel spin, there was the meet and greet all in one room, the art gallery. I think it was really well structured. I think having the little mini artist alley in the middle of the room, that was really cool. And just having so many opportunities to people to have a meet and greet and to go, especially it being Halloween, it was really awesome. For those of you who aren't aware, there was 4 of us at our meet and greet. It was myself, Ishura, Mr. Jeff himself, and Issei Silva. We were told that we probably couldn't get more than 2 seats, and then we weaseled in 4. So thank you, Con Before the Storm. I'm actually drinking out of the cup that I got as a backer. Look at that! Look at that! Where's my camera? God, I'm holding it up to the light. How do cameras work? It was good. I hope Combat for the Storm teams up with Wowhead again, because I hate having to choose which party to go to. Combat for the Storm or Wowhead. And I didn't have to choose. Taliesin and Evito line was 4 hours long. It was. And they stayed to the very end. Absolute champs. Their time slot was only for an hour, but Come Before the Storm said, you know what? We're going to make this work. No, everyone move down. We'll make this work. How was Come Before the Storm for you? Oh, God, okay. Do you have a picture of your costume? Her costume, her makeup was amazing. Her and Spalander did, she did Tyrande, and Spalander did a Volpera, and it was the best thing ever. It was really awesome. Do you have a picture of it? Show it. I wish I had a picture right now.
Okay, I can do it. I mean, it's on. I didn't post a picture of the Calm Before the Storm one on my Instagram, but I have like the OG Tyrande makeup.
That'll work.
On my Instagram.
Either way, it was really good. It was.
The OG one's better.
It was. I don't know. Calm Before the Storm was great. Having it on Halloween felt a little bit weird, but that expression, fierce, looks like you want to kill some horde. And so she looked like that at Calm Before the Storm when one of our other mods was dressed up as a Volpera, and it was amazingly cute, and they were awesome.
I can show the picture of that too.
Oh, do it. Spalander with her cute little ears.
We took photos in the photo booth. There was a photo booth at Calm Before the Storm, and I thought that was really cool. I missed it. I wanted to get photo booth pictures with everyone, and I totally said, I'm going to do that, and guess what I didn't do? Next year, I'll get photo booth pictures with everyone. God, look at how amazing they are. Does this, like, show up well?
I realize I can just put the picture on screen. I don't have it accessible right now. I don't want to go looking for it. But yeah, Calm Before the Storm was amazing. Overall, BlizzCon 2019. There, I think there were some ups and downs for everyone, but I think there was a great experience during the entire convention. This one, for us personally, for the Lost Codex, our interview was on day 2, which was... God, thank you, Josh Allen and Aramis for doing that, because day 1 interview, before any panels really sucked in the past. This one was right after the panels, which was amazing. So that was really good. We didn't feel rushed. I was able to enjoy, not that I didn't enjoy my convention last year, I just missed half the convention last year because I was working most of it. Which, again, not going to complain because it was for Lost Codex. I love doing it. But I thought back, I'm like, man, I missed half of that convention. I don't even remember half of it. This time I was able to see the panels I wanted to. No weird obligation to forcibly be somewhere else. And overall, it was a top-notch BlizzCon experience. How about for you, Ishura?
Yeah, I came out of it feeling really positively.
That's a good way to describe it.
Isn't really that different from like most BlizzCons, but I guess this year was different from last year because last year was kind of, for me, it wasn't my first, but it was my first going in, meeting people there and knowing people, and I was a fan of the Lost Codex at the time, so it was like getting to meet people I was a big fan of, and I did that this year too, but it was different because this year I was more part of it rather than kind of on the outside looking in. So I think this year was more serious, a bit more work oriented, but it was still fun. I mean, honestly, my first year I went alone just because I was in the area and I wanted a ticket and I wanted fun, but it compared absolutely nothing to going and hanging out with people and making friends. Like, go with people or go meet people there. It is so much better than going alone. But go anyway, even if you go alone.
Like, going alone's fine. But honestly, when Ishura and I met up last year with Spalander, I said we're gonna do this Jesse style. We're gonna go Lost Codex Jesse style BlizzCon, and it's very fast paced. You meet a lot of people, and this year it was awesome because this year The entire Codex team was there in person. There was Jeff all the way from the far lands of the Netherlands. There was me. There was Zillions, our brand manager, part of the Zillions network, and some guy named Final Boss. And all 4 of my mods, all 4 of them, the one from the Netherlands, the one from the UK, and the 2 from the West Coast, all of them were there in person. We had a Lost Codex staff meeting. We were able to talk shop in person. It was amazing. It was so cool to be able to sit with my mod squad and talk work and to kick people out of the room and like, nope, we're working, get out. That felt good.
None of us were moderating the Discord because we were all too busy having fun at BlizzCon. Hellscape. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone in the Discord's great. They're self-moderating.
We thought about putting up a temporary couple mods, but everyone was good. There was no degenerate monkeys in the Discord. Well, none that needed any special ban hammers. But overall, having the full mod squad there was awesome, and I am kind of spoiled now, because now I don't want to use the word expect all my mods to be there every year. I want all my mods to be there every year. And I know Ishura, you know, BlizzCon is like an almost guarantee for you, you know, you want to go. But for the others, you know, Spillander's got the mom life. We've got the other 2. That's far to go. I know Jeff makes it every year, but not everyone can make it every year. And I mean, I'd love if the mod squad and everyone goes next year, but maybe we'll make it every 2 years. BlizzCon 2021. But either way, it was amazing to have the Codex team there in person. The mod squad was awesome. BlizzCon was awesome. And that brings us to the future plans of the Lost Codex. And we left BlizzCon feeling motivated. We left BlizzCon feeling reinvigorated. Ishura and I talked a lot about Decoded. We talked about what we want to do with the cinematic analyses, reactions. We still have to do a Shadowlands breakdown, cinematic. Something people have been asking. I get a comment every couple of days. When are you doing a Shadowlands cinematic reaction? Well, I've already seen it, but we can break it down. We can see what it's about, for sure. Decoded Season 2. Lost Codex Legends, people are wondering, why did that stop? Honestly, just bad timing. It stopped because I went to the Netherlands for 3 weeks. Then I came back and I had a week and a half of absolute madness before I went to BlizzCon, and I went, good God, I am not getting this episode out. And so the scripts are written, I just have to film and talk. 2 scripts are written, actually. So that has been a temporary hiatus. They will be coming back to, on average, 2 per week. So stay tuned for that. They are super fun to do. So those didn't stop because I didn't like them. They stopped because, oh, I'm on vacation, and oh my God, BlizzCon, what is happening? And with that, the mods really wanted to find a way to step up more and to expand. And so, for example, for those of you who don't know, the Lost Codex Legends scripts are written by Chandran. Ladus helps with the research and organizing everything, but they tag team the scripts. Chandran gets me all my notes in chronological order. Ladus gets me a big imager gallery full of pictures, and they've really taken to helping with the preparation of these side projects. When Ishura and I do cinematic breakdowns, we sit in a Discord call for 2.5 hours writing notes, and then we talk about it on camera. It's honestly like a 4-hour call once we put everything together.
Longer than that.
Easily longer than that. Honestly, the first 4 hours is me, Ishura, Chandran, and Ladus sitting there talking. Then we film it. Then I have to edit it. And of course, Ishura is stepping up in a couple roles. I'm going to let her jump in here and talk about some things here. The spotlight is yours.
Some of you may already know, because it's not a surprise, but I have been running the Lost Codex Instagram since, like, August, I think, which is mostly photos of Lost Codex merch, which is something that we need to get on at some point, setting up a store, because we've been selling most of our merch in person at BlizzCon.
Kind of, if it shows up on time.
Kind. There's video announcements, which obviously if you have like YouTube notifications, not that big a deal, but there's cool like thumbnails that we make for Instagram that are in the square format that you won't see anywhere else. Video announcements, merch, lore facts. That's the big thing that I forgot. Since the Lost Codex is a lore channel, this is the biggest thing that we do on the Instagram. Is we have these lore facts that are canonical facts, but they're written from the perspective of people in the like in-character Lost Codex organization. So that's cool. That's a big thing. I think that's all we have. We have some like speculation posts regarding Shadowlands, and I just wanted to cultivate a place where it wasn't like repeated content that you would also see on YouTube and stuff. It gives you an incentive to also follow the Instagram, and there might be teasers for future content on there. So if you want to know what we get up to, it's a good place to follow. I'm pretty sure it's just the Lost Codex on Instagram, and I will also be posting some stuff to the story live on Twitch when videos come out, and I think that's all of it, if I didn't miss anything.
No, just to expand on the lore facts a little bit more, Ishura puts it all together. Jeff gave her a whole bunch of little template background images, but it's all put together by her. And there's some really cool icons on the post that we use that we actually got commissioned by Rude Goblin. And my idea for this was, if Ishura is writing a post about the Drakari, well, it's going to be a troll author writing this. And I thought, how cool would it be if they had their own little sigil or stamp that they put at the end of their own posts, that you could easily identify what kind of race they were based on the look. So we actually have the first wave is done, and we might get a second wave commissioned. We have a little Zandalari icon. It'd be cool as Discord emotes. I should make these into Discord emotes. That'd be dope.
Oh yeah,
They're
they're
small.
so good.
Yeah, we have a Zandalari icon, a Draenei icon, a Lordaeron icon, and a Night Elf Kaldorei icon. Am I missing one? We have 4.
Yeah, just 4.
Just 4. And then basically she adds like a signature, like a handwritten signature font of the character, and it just, if you're not on Instagram, fine. But if you are on Instagram and you're not following us, follow us and check out her lore post. It basically starts with lore post, and then you swipe, and the second image is a piece of parchment with the fact written out. It's all like Lost Codex stationery, the official Lost Codex sigil at the top, and then the marking at the bottom with the autograph. It looks something like you would see in a book found in Dalaran in the Lost Codex faculty, and that is 100% Ishura's pet project for the Instagram. So go check it out. It is awesome in all ways. And you might start seeing some of those things on Twitter very soon. So keep an eye out there. And
Can we show them the pin?
We can show them the pins. Go ahead.
Alright, so we have our beautiful Blizzcon 2019 pin, and I took photos of these today, so this will be a post on the Instagram. Nice pin photos. See better photos than the preview I'm about to show you.
So shiny. Look at that. The cool thing is, it glows in the dark.
Oh yeah! I forgot about that.
It's okay, we can fix that. The constellation glows in the dark, which is really dope. And this was done by Frenone, I don't know how to say it. Frenone. Fren did this, and it is awesome. And they came out beautiful. We also have new official Lost Codex business cards. These guys right here, nice sleek black and gold with the Codex on the back. And new Lost Codex shirts, the ones that we're wearing right now, the Vaporwave style. These will be available on some sort of website like Teespring or T-Fury or something, very soon. We just gotta get that organized and put that up. I wish pins were easier to sell. They're not, because there's no
So we
main
have
website.
pins. We have this year's and last year's, which is on a bookshelf back there. We have the journal.
Oh yeah, that'll be from Redbubble. Official Lost
Shirt.
Codex journals.
So there's this year's shirts, and last year's shirts.
I should try to get that store up and running for Christmas time. People gifting out Lost Codex stuff. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas. Merry Winter
That's
Veil. Happy Solstice. Whatever. Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. All of it. It all matters. Oh, and that's the background card for this year's pin. So there's a lot of beautiful new Lost Codex merchandise. So keep an eye out on our Instagram and our Twitter page, and of course in the Discord. And a little shout out to the Discord. If you are on Discord, but you're not in our Discord, stop what you're doing. Go join the Discord. It's a really fun place. It's awesome. And you get some updates on all sorts of Codex content that you wouldn't get anywhere else. Kind of some special treatment those guys get. So go on and check them out. Anything you want to talk about to tie up this Decoded pre-show?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right.
More coming soon.
TM. But that's it, guys. So thank you for listening to this early pre-patch episode of Decoded Season 2. My name is Jesse.
I'm Ishura.
And we'll see you with hopefully many guest hosts for Decoded Season 2. Going live sometime in December 2019. We don't have a date yet, but it's happening soon. So keep an eye out on Twitter, Instagram, and other places for when we're officially going live. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you for the official launch of Decoded Season 2.